Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? I'm gonna see if anybody's even gonna show up to this, man. I might end up deleting this video if I really don't get anybody showing up. It's early as hell. It's like a 5:30 a.m. where I'm at. Just got in the house from shoveling all that damn snow in the front of the house. See if anybody's gonna show up, man. Right now I'm watching the German heavyweight Tom Schwartz has a fight coming up this weekend. He's fighting a guy named Christian Merst. I don't know how to pronounce this dude's name, but I'm watching the guy Chris Stasic. I'm watching the guy fight right now. He's getting beat up by some guy named Yuri Kaczynski, and I do not see how this guy is going to have any chance against Tom Schwartz. And he does have a good record. When you look at his record, he's 17-0 with 14 knockouts and one loss, but against journeyman level fighters. And looked like he's going just a strictly high guard in this fight. Strictly high guard. But then in some of the other fights I've seen him, when he was fighting downhill against the journeyman guys, then he was coming forward. He was a much looser fighter. It's funny, man. Sometimes when guys are in there and they're able to fight downhill, they kind of fight loosey goosey with their hands down, popping the jab, moving in and out. And then as soon as they get in there with somebody that's putting the pressure on them, some guys put the high guard up and just shield up and don't know what to do. And it clearly looked like he didn't know what to do in this fight with this Yuri. Not pronounce the dude's last name, but Tom Schwartz is going to beat up this Kristasic guy on the weekend. He's going to whoop his ass. Let me see here. Roderick Thompson, what's good? See 4 people watching so far, man. If you guys got some questions, let's just chop it up about anything, man. Just throw some questions at me. Let's just chop it up. That's what this is, a spur of the moment live stream. Got in from shoveling all that snow out in front of the house, thinking about boxing when I was out there. So just want to chop it up. Joe Host, what's good? So Roderick Thompson or Joe Host, you got anything we can chop it up about, man? Just throw it in the chat. Let's just talk. Let's converse about this. Anything. Or let me get to this, because this kind of was left out of my last live stream about Joseph Parker real quick, all right? Now, Parker, right now they're talking about possibly Derek Chisora. Dave Higgins came out and said that he doesn't mind fighting Derek Chisora, but he wants ample enough time to have a good training camp, and he wants to be treated fairly. That's what Higgins said, all right? Now, his opinion on enough time to train is 9 to 10 weeks. I know Chisora's been in the gym. I follow him on Instagram. He's been in the gym training. Looked like he's in there putting in some good work. My thing is, man, 9 to 10 weeks is extremely long time to take a fight. I understand that some guys do it. You know what I mean? But to my thing is this, though, man. You're a professional fighter. You're supposed to be ready to fight whenever. Tell you the truth, especially at heavyweight, where you're not trying to get down to to a certain weight limit, but you should be pretty much in shape already. Now, some people say, yeah, Mr. Boxing, but there's fighting shape. Some guys are in fighting shape. I mean, yeah, you're probably not out there sparring every day, but hitting the bag, getting your road work in, eating the right way, doing your calisthenics, little stuff like that. You're supposed to be on top of that all the time, man. So 9 to 10 weeks means that, I'm not sure what JP is walking around at right now, so I can't really speak on that because I haven't really, I don't know how much he weighs right now. But now this isn't Joseph Parker talking, all right? It's Dave Higgins talking. So I'm not saying Parker's the one that's saying that he needs 9 to 10 weeks. From what I've seen, it was just Dave Higgins saying this. So I'm curious to what Parker thinks about this. Does he feel that he needs 9 to 10 weeks, or is this more of just his promoter talking? Let me see. Joe Ho says, do you think Wilder should retire if he ends up fighting Breazeale and Joshua? And then he says, retire after he fights them. No, not at all. I think there's a lot left for Deontay Wilder to accomplish in the sport. You said when he fights Breazeale and Joshua. So you mean after he, fights his mandatory, which is Breazeale, and then if Anthony Joshua still has all his titles after his June 1st fight with Jarrell Miller, they'll be fighting for undisputed. So pretty much what you're asking me is, if he gets into an undisputed fight with Joshua, should he retire after that? No, I still think there's more to do. He's already faced Ortiz and Fury, but the one thing about the Fury fight is it ended in a draw. and I'm just not a fan of draws, regardless of who you. Even if you think the guy won hands down, it was a draw, and you can live with it. Not me, not me, not me. I hate draws. Um, the Larry Holmes Spinks first fight, didn't like that result. The Lennox Lewis Holyfield first fight, didn't like that result. I'm just not a fan of draws. Even if you think the guy, whoever you thought won the fight, I'm still not a fan of draws. So I think those need to be cleaned up. Also, I would like, and I know Wilder would be towards the, okay, let's say things go perfectly for Wilder. Let's say he beats Breazeale, and then his very next fight after that is Anthony Joshua. Let's say he beats him. All right, hypothetical. Let's say he beats both of them. Um, I still think that, physical or financially, I don't know his bank statement. I've never seen his bank account numbers, but I think he's well off right now. He's really gonna be well off, especially if he gets an undisputed fight with Joshua. But I like when fighters hang around. Not, you know, I don't want them to hang around too long. I don't want any fighter. All right, we're back. We're back. So don't go nowhere yet. All right. So what you were asking me about Wilder, I don't want to see any fighter hang around for too long, but at the same time, I do like watching heavyweights or just fighters, period, when they kind of fight the new crop of guys that are coming in. So by this time, maybe F.A. Ajagba has made his way up the ranks. Maybe Filip Hrgovic has made his way up the ranks. Maybe Ivan Daichko has made his way up the ranks. Maybe Jermaine Franklin made his way up the ranks. Danny Dubois. Um, Alexander Teslenko. There's a whole bunch of, I can keep throwing prospects names out there, but there's a lot of guys. I want to see how they fare in the next 2-3 years, and I want to see some of those guys get their shots at Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder, who we're speaking about, Tyson Fury, all those guys, man. So I like when we have an era right now, but then they start to fight some of that new wave of guys that's coming in. Vladimir Klitschko did it in his career. He gave fights to guys that were a part of the new era. Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, guys like that. Larry Holmes did it. So a lot of the great heavyweights of the past, they always, they're there to usher in that new crop of guys. Now some guys stay around for too long, and I'm not saying I want to see him do that. Right? Nobody wants to watch Michael Jordan play in the Wizards uniform. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to watch Willie Mays play in I believe he played for the Mets at the end. A Mets uniform. I could be wrong, but you guys get what I'm saying. But at the same time, still make for some competitive fights. You know what I mean? So um, I would like to see that. You know, World Breaker Fighting. What's good, brother? What's good, man? You guys go sub to World Breaker Fighting, man. Shout out to my brother, man. What's good? Let me see here. See what else you guys are talking about. Oasis One says AJ is a fraud ducking fights. God of War says, "What's up? What's good, man?" Creasus 33 says, maybe he will, not because he would want to quit, but maybe he will have to. Don't forget about all the times he broke his arm in the trainings. Oh, you talking about Deontay Wilder? I know he's broke his hand, his right hand. Um, I know he's fucked up his hand a lot. So possibly, you know what I'm saying? He possibly could. If his hand isn't up to par, definitely don't want to see him in there fighting damn near injured, or fighting with his best weapon not intact. The odd fella, what's good, brother? He says green from the north side. What's up, man? S. Clayton says Joshua has the best resume in heavyweight division. So how is he ducking? I guess that question is for Oasis One. Let me see here. Mixed stroke of vision. What's good, brother? He says, damn, bro, you at it early, but I'm in Seattle now. It's 3:40. Oh, you in Seattle? You on the West Coast? I think the last time we even got we conversed about where you were from. I thought you were in Chicago, but you in Seattle now. Shouts out to the West. Yeah, man, I was outside. I'm in cold ass Minnesota. I was just out there shoveling up that damn snow, man. So I'm shoveling, boxing on the mind while I'm shoveling, thinking about Joseph Parker and the heavyweight division. I spoke about Joseph Parker briefly when I started this. So for you guys, it's going to catch us on archives. You can catch that first part. All right, but my man World Breaker Fighting says nothing much, just waking up. My 3-year-old jumped on my chest laughing out loud. Yeah, I got 2 boys and 2 girls here myself, man, so I know exactly how that is. Let me see here. Okay, see, some people are conversing with each other. Thomas Riley says Seattle here too. Shouts out to Seattle, man. S. Clayton says, keep up the good work, Mr. Boxing. Appreciate that. The Odd Fella says, Mr. Box today, what's your assessment on the UK rising prospect Fabio Wardley, Dillian White's sparring partner? I only seen him speak in an interview. I never really seen his fight. Haven't seen him fight, rather. But I do like Daniel Dubois. I do like Nathan Gorman. And Cash Ali has a fight coming up with David Price. And Cash Ali is already, I think he's like 15 and 0, 16 and 0, something like that. So if he gets a victory over Price, and I know, Erkin Tepper knocked out Price. Christian Hammer got a victory over Price. Tony Thompson has two victories. So it's not like he's going to be the first person to stop Price. But Price is still loved by a lot of UK supporters. That's one thing about them, man. They will support the hell out of you, win, lose, or draw. I remember when when Ricky Haddon was getting a check left hook landed on him by Floyd Mayweather, ran into the damn the, ran into the ring post, and they were still, there's only one Ricky Hatton. This dude's getting counted out. You know what I mean? Joe Cortez waving the fight, and they're still cheering and cheering for their guy. But with that said, though, I think if Cash Ali, because he's an aggressive fighter, I don't think he has the crazy one punch KO power, but he's an aggressive fighter. So his aggressiveness may get him over on the David Price fight. Price, man, he can heavy right hand. We all know about his chin. He does have the ability to fight like as I called it in his the fight he had with Kamil Sokolowski. I said he in that fight he was fighting like a watered down version of Tyson Fury, where Price can actually get on his back foot and fight a little bit. I don't think it's his most effective way of fighting. Um, and I definitely don't want him to get into a continuity of trying to fight like that. But at the same time, though, I think his best bet is coming forward, trying to land that big right hand, or at least try to create some distance. You know what I mean? He was able to clip pretty much, man, all the fights I seen Price lose, if I'm not mistaken, he hurt all the guys he fought. He got Povetkin with a good shot, dropped Christian Hammer. Was he busting up Thompson a little bit? Probably not the Erkin Tepper fight, though. But pretty much, though, when he lands on you, he hurts people, man. It's just that chin, man. Let me see here. So, yeah, to answer your question fully, odd fella, I haven't seen him fight. I just seen an interview of Fabio Wardley, but I'm going to definitely check him out, though. I'm always on the look for hot prospects, man, or just up and coming prospects. That's my thing. And it's great to see a lot of these guys who I was talking about in 2009 and 2010, 2011, 12. Now all these guys are getting title shots. Some guys have already had title shots, but some of these guys are title holders. You know what I mean? I remember talking about AJ when he first came out. Now the dude is a unified champion. Remember Deontay Wilder. Remember, you know what I mean? Then a lot of the guys that didn't win titles that I spoke about too. So it's good to see some, for things to come to fruition and some of these guys get title shots and be talked about by amongst the casual fans and some hardcore fans. You know what I mean? So I remember talking about Dominic Breazeale and people like, who the fuck is this guy? You know what I mean? Jarrell Miller, who the fuck is this guy? Now these dudes are fighting for titles. You know what I mean? So it's a good thing. Let me see here. Joe Ho says, I was watching Stiverne versus Areola 2. Bruh, it's crazy how he declined in 4+ years. Yeah, man. And in that second Stiverne Areola fight, Areola, now I know you're talking about Stiverne, but Areola actually fought a decent fight. I know he got stopped, but if you watch that fight, he was actually fighting pretty decent, man. He was able to press Stiverne a little bit. Um, and Stiverne just started raining them combinations on him, man. But I thought that first fight, I thought Stiverne was beating him up, was bashing him, beating him up. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. But you know what, Joe Host? That comes down to a whole bunch of inactivity and gaining a whole bunch of weight. Those things do not mix, man. Oil and water, you know what I mean? That does not mix, especially when you're trying to be the best that you can be, taking all this. Now, to some fighters, they do need some time off when they're very active. But if you're only fighting once, twice a year anyways, and then you still take a year and a half off or whatever it is, and then you're gaining all this weight, that's not going to help. So Uh, and then his age, you know, what I mean, you're getting a little bit older. We know those bones start to get a little bit sore. Is this dude? All right, for those of you just joining me, I'm looking at Tom Schwartz, who's an undefeated German prospect. I'm watching his upcoming opponent. What's this dude's name? Christian Kristashik. But he's now I'm watching another fight, and the dude he's fighting is like in the corner. Took the water bottle from his trainers, like drinking his own. It just looks weird the way he's doing it. It's like drinking, like giving water to himself. Looks kind of crazy. But anyways, yeah, back to Stiverne though. Yeah, man. So all that coupled with the fact that you're getting a little bit older, and he has one of those styles where he likes to put up the high guard and come forward. You guys know how I feel about guys that maintain that type of style, man. Your career only lasts so long. Now that's not a knock on fighters that fight like that, because some of the greatest fighters in the history of the sport had put the high guard up, aggressive, come forward type of styles. You know what I mean? Now I know Stiverne will drop his, or he used to drop his hands a little bit and, you know, try to make you miss and show some head movement, but really he wants to put the high guard up and come forward. Let me see here. Okay. Creasus 33 says Stiverne was just a shade of himself in the Joe Joyce fight. Man, he was, you know, I was surprised that he lasted that long, especially coming in at 273, which was by far his career high. I believe before that fight, his career high was 258. I could be wrong, but I think it was 258. I know for the second Wilder fight, he was 254. The first Wilder fight, he was 239. So even for the rematch with Wilder, I thought 254 was a lot. And then you come in and gain 20 more pounds, 19 more pounds. And I don't know how much he weighed for his fight with Derek Rossi, the fight that he had after the Wilder fight. And this right here, seeing the weight he was, man, and then what happened in the Rossi, because he got dropped in the Rossi fight too. I actually have footage on, if you never got to see that knockdown that Rossi delivered on Stiverne, it's on my page. You type in Rossi knocks down Stiverne or something like that, and it should pop up. All right, I don't believe I deleted it. Um, but it leads me to believe that he would have got sparked against Povetkin. Had that fight not fell apart, I think Povetkin would have sparked out Stiverne. Because that style, it would have been an entertaining fight if he would have came in shape. Uh, if he would have fought Povetkin and came in shape, would have been I think would have been an entertaining fight based on their styles. But I see Povetkin landing left hooks on him, man, just too easy to hit. Let me see here. Okay, God of War says, How do you think Ortiz will continue his career? I think he will continue his career trying to fight the best fighters that he possibly can. You know, a lot of people like to rank on his or rag on his resume and who he beat. You know, the whole who he beat and all. But hey, man, you can only fight who wants to get in there with you, though, man. I mean, you can call out the top fighters till you turn blue in the face, but if they're not getting in there with you, what is he gonna? I mean, Evander Holyfield is not coming through that door. You know what I mean? Lennox Lewis is not coming through that door. Mike Tyson, Joe Louis, the fighters of the past aren't coming through that door. You dig what I'm saying? So you can only fight who's willing to get in the ring with you. You know what I'm saying? So after this fight with Christian Hammer, and Hammer I think is adorable, rugged, rough, experienced, uh, fringe contender esque type of fighter, uh, just like Kaufman was. So I don't think they're bums, as some people just, you know, they label everybody a damn bum, man. But, you know, to each his own. Um, so, you know, he's not fighting just a complete obscure journeyman, you know what I mean? But plus Christian Hammer's coming in on a high note. He took Michiel Wallisch, undefeated record, who's a German prospect. Um, just beat the fight out of him, man. That was a weird fight. Well, I don't want to get too far with something else, but if Ortiz can't get the big fights like Joshua and Fury, and he's fought Wilder, you know what I mean, but like Joshua and Fury, and he can't get some of the up and coming guys who want to test themselves, guys who are contenders that's, you know, trying to get title shots like an Adam Konowski or somebody like that. If he can't get guys like that, then I don't mind him fighting guys like Christian Hammer. I would way rather see him fight Christian Hammer than see him fight, you know, bringing, you know, some journeyman up, Paul Butlin or somebody like that. You dig what I'm saying? Or Andrew Greeley or something like that. No disrespect to those gentlemen, but they're journeyman level fighters. You dig what I'm saying? So um, continue just to try to fight the best. I think Luis Ortiz is going to continue to do what he's been trying to do, trying to get them in the ring. And if he can't, just continue to keep fighting. Let me see here. Mixed Stroke Vision says, "Yeah, I'm from Chicago. Work took me to the Pacific Northwest. It's beautiful up here. The food whack though. I miss Chicago Midwest cooking." Yeah, and I can guarantee I'm from Chicago. That's where I was originally born, South Side. But one thing I can tell you, brothers, what I know you don't miss is this goddamn Midwest weather, especially in this, you know what I mean, that December, January, February. There's not nothing to miss, unless you like snowmobiling or some shit like that. But Prophet says it's good to see you back and putting out a lot of videos out, Mr. Boxing, today. Keep it up, bro. I appreciate that, man, and I definitely will be putting them out. Um, as much as I possibly can. You dig what I'm saying? Mike Wilkins says, what's good? What's good, man? Thomas Riley. Okay, let me see. Uh, man, Poby says, laugh out loud. That Hatton KO was ice cold and hilarious, too. Yeah, man, they was up there just cheering. I'm sitting there like, well, these UK fans love their fighters. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But just as an American, um, not being really privy to the culture like that over there, especially there. Now I've seen the Eubank and Ben fights and things like that, and I've seen UK fights back in the day, but I just never knew they were just supportive to that part. It's like, I guess that would be equal to, like, if you're a basketball fan, right? And you watching, I'm just gonna say, you watching the Lakers play the Bulls, you know what I mean? And you're a Laker fan, and they're getting routed by 30. You're still in the stands saying, "Yay, woo, let's go, LeBron!" Like, that's, to me, that's what it equals. It's like, damn, they're still cheering, they're getting their ass whooped. Because here in the States, man, we're just quick to boo. We don't give a fuck if you're from here or not. You dig what I'm saying? I've seen teams get booed on their, like the Spurs. The San Antonio Spurs had a game, and I think they were losing to somebody, man, double digits to a team that they should be beating. Their fans start booing, people start leaving and everything. It's just different over here. Now, I'm not saying that goes for every single sport in the UK, but I'm just saying over here, we don't cheer like that for everything. You dig what I'm saying? I don't know if we're just harder to please or what, but we just don't cheer for shit. Like, we'll boo. I know during the Wilder Ortiz fight, Wilder and Ortiz was still trying to just figure each other out, just kind of pacing, probing with their jabs. People started booing out in Brooklyn. You know what I mean? But that's the U.S. for you, though, man. We'll cheer you and support, but we'll boo your ass too, whether you're from here or not. Um, Let me see here. Ronald Finkley says, top of the morning, no doubt, man. Top of it. Just some more of it, man. The odd fella says, do you think the Canadian Simon King can ever reach world-class status, or is Teslenko the better prospect? Well, first of all, I don't know if he's took a fight since then, but his first loss came to the hands of Dylan Carmen, right? He got sparked. Um, he was the Olympian. He does have size. Looks like a damn bodybuilder, but he's about 6'5", about 250 pounds. He has a size, has a nice thudding jab that I like. Not the fastest guy, and Dylan Carmen was able to get him out of there. Dylan Carmen just lost his last fight, to the guy that stopped Wilder in the amateurs. This is gonna piss me off. What is that dude's name? The dude that stopped Wilder in the amateurs. The Russian cat, man. That's gonna piss me off because I just talked about this. Evgeny Romanov. That's the guy's name. All right. So Carmen just lost to Romanov. Now let's backtrack to what you're asking about King. Um, Gonna have to find his confidence again, man, because sometimes knockout losses can take a lot out of fighters. Some fighters get better from there. So we'll see. I think he has the tools, but it's just mentally and his toughness. You know what I mean? But physically, I think physically he has the tools. Now Teslenko, I think Teslenko may be the better prospect, not because he's still, running around with his undefeated record, but just when I look at their styles, he seems more fluid as a fighter. His fluidity seems better. His hand and feet coordination just seems a little bit more fluid. He just seems more fluid. I like his combination. He has good hand speed. Avery Gibson made him work though. He fought Avery Gibson on ESPN. was ESPN or ESPN Plus, but I remember that fight. And Gibson is one of those journeymen that I always tell you guys about, like the John Boldens and Camille Sokolowski. Speaking of Sokolowski, Lucas Brown better be careful, man. All right, Lucas Brown, if you're listening, bro, be careful. Don't go in there thinking this dude's some chump, regardless of his record. All right. But anyways, I think Teslenko's a better prospect based on the things that I just said. But hey, the best way to for them to prove, fight each other. You dig what I'm saying? That's the beauty of the fight game. KP from KC says, "What up? What to do, man?" And let me also say about the Canadian heavyweight scene, the odd fella. Let me just throw this one in there too. What's the dude's name? Um, Mladen Milas. I like him too. I think he's like 12-0 with 12 KOs. He was another guy that, or he fought Dylan Carmen and beat Dylan Carmen. I like him as a prospect. Um, Good power. Stands kind of straight up a little bit though, and I'm not sure about his back foot game, but let me throw him in there as well. Can I see if you are conversing in the comment section? That's what's up. S. Clayton says Herkovic gotta be best prospect in the heavyweight division, in my opinion. Hey man, Philippe Herkovic was my favorite. Now, okay, let me say this to make this clear, okay? Before the 2016 games in Rio, I wanted whoever was going to represent the USA, if we had representation, to win the gold. Let me say that first, all right? But and we didn't have representation because the guy that was supposed to make it is was Darmani Rock, who's a good prospect right now, but he ended up getting defeated in the Olympic trials by Marlo Moore, who is trained out there in the Bay Area by Virgil Hunter. All right, Moore ended up beating him in the Olympic trials. Moore had to win a couple tournaments or at least place. You know how it is. You got to place um, highly in those Olympic qualifying tournaments to be able to make the Olympics, and he missed out on it. All right. So, with that said, though, I thought Philippe Perkovic was going to win gold. He didn't. Got bronze. Um, I think he got kind of ripped off, but it is what it is. Against, it is what it is. Yoka ended up getting the gold. Joyce got silver. All right, but what I would say is this though: I thought he was going to win it, and I did a video in 2015 asking or telling you guys that, hey man, this kid may be the next heavyweight champion somewhere down the line. All right, so Herkovic is nice to me, man. I like Philippe Herkovic. Been talking about that kid for about 4 years now, man. So what he was able to do to Amir Mansour didn't surprise me at all. What surprised me was Amir Mansour just willingly taking a 10 count like that. But Philippe Herkovic is nice. You dig? And then there's another Croatian prospect. One you got BoxRec pulled up. Forgot the dude's name, man. But I want to see him in. What is this kid's name? Damn, I hate when these names slip my mind like this. If you guys go to BoxRec and go to Croatia rankings or whatever for heavyweights, he'll be rated right behind Philippe Herkovic. And the kid just fought Kevin Johnson, and he got the stoppage over Kevin Johnson. But I want to see. I believe his name is Milas, not to be confused with the Canadian dude I was just talking about, Mladen Milas. The Mladen Milas, his name is spelled. His last name is Miljas, and this kid is Milas. But anyways, I like to see him and Herkovic fight. And I read an article about Milas saying that he would like to fight Herkovic. You know what I mean? I think that'd be a nice Croatian showdown, man. But there's a lot of good prospects out there as Clayton. So let me not, put it out there like he's the only good one, but he may be the best. Um, Let me see. Shower Pondem says, "I'm disappointed how Iju career has gone. What's your thoughts, Mr. Boxing today?" Yeah, man, he's just not active enough for me. You know what I mean? So I thought after the Brazil fight, and he had a good showing in that Brazil fight, man. When was had some very good moments in that fight. I picked him to win the fight. He was with Joseph Parker. And I thought it was a good move for him to separate himself from Joseph Parker and Kevin Berry, because you shouldn't be playing second fiddle to nobody, especially when you guys are in the same division. And I know Parker has a few more fights than him, but nah, it ain't time to play second fiddle. Nah, not when not when you're endeavoring to be the best. Shouldn't be playing second fiddle. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that while I wasn't there, so I'm not saying that they were purposely trying to do that to Issue, but at the same time, Parker was the priority. You dig what I'm saying? There's no knock on Parker or Kevin Barry. I'm just speaking for Issue in his career. You know what I mean? So he went back to Poland. He did have a fight lined up with Fred Cassie. Fred Cassie, just an awkward fight. You guys go watch that fight, make you want to scratch your head the way that ended. Cassie just looked like he didn't want to be there at all. Issue's just not active enough, man. He's another guy that has tools, but just not active enough. God of War says you should check out Peter Kaduru. He has his pro debut next Saturday. Had a good amateur career. That name sounds familiar. The name sounds familiar. Nathan says Cabe Verdinko tomorrow. Junior Fa is also boxing. Indeed. If you guys haven't seen my video talking about the Cabe Verdinko fight, check that out. Junior Fa, yes. And on that card, that card's going to be in Columbus, Ohio. Junior Fa is fighting Newfell. This guy's name is hard to pronounce. Oyatuo, Oyatua, or something like that. But I've seen him fight against seen that guy fight against Johan Dulpa, and I seen him fight against Erkin Tepper, and I seen some of his fights against Journeyman. Also on that card, you're gonna have three other undefeated prospects on that card, man. You got George Arias, I believe. I know George Arias is on there. Stephen Shaw's on there, and Himi Ahio. I just forget. I've done a video on all these fights, man. Done a video on all those fights. I'm trying to think of their opponents. I know Ed Fontaine is one opponent. Donovan, yeah, yo, the Donovan Dennis Stephen Shaw is gonna be interesting fight. That's gonna be an interesting one. You got a southpaw versus and Donovan Dennis, who's only well the two his two notable losses got caught with the same punch. Um, no, I'm lying. I'm lying. So I'm getting this mixed up. No, I'm getting that mixed up. Yeah, Donovan Dennis lost to Jarrell Big Baby Miller. That's who he lost to. I seen that fight on Showbox. All right, but he's a southpaw. He's been in a lot of Deontay Wilder training camps. He's gonna be fighting Stephen Shaw. Should be a good fight. All right. I want to say Arias is fighting Ed Fontaine. I believe that's the fight he's fighting. And then Himi Ahio, or maybe Himi. You guys go check it out, man. I did videos on all these. Nathan says Schwartz should get moving now, 23-0. Yeah, especially when he takes care of this dude. So that's who I'm sitting here watching is his opponent. He's gonna beat the hell out of this Chris Stitch uh, guy. He's gonna beat the hell out of him. But yeah, man, and he's highly rated by the WBO. So yeah, it's about time the WBO put him in some type of title eliminator, or he gets in there with somebody, man. Because these, we it's like we get it at this point. We get it. You can beat Journeyman. We get it. We get it. We get it. We get it. Let's move on now. You dig it? Let me see. Ronald Finkley says I'm trying to get my laptop right so I can watch when you guys bring these names up. Let me see here. Paul Lemieux says now that Wilder Fury 2 is off, do you like Wilder Breazeale next? Do you give Breazeale a chance? Um, do I like it? I like the fact that Wilder will be fighting his mandatory, so we can get that shit out the way with. Although these sanctioning bodies love to say that any type of unification fight takes precedence over mandatories. They like to pick and choose with that, So I like that Wilder's getting it out the way, so there'll be no excuses for any type of if the undisputed fight presents itself, it'll be right there for him. You know what I mean? Without any type of owing his mandatory a shot or anything like that. So I like it. I like that part of it, and also like the fact that there's some type of personal animosity between Breazeale and Wilder from what allegedly took place in that hotel in Alabama. I wasn't there, you dig what I'm saying? But just from what's been alleged, also know that Breazeale is trying to sue him. You know what I mean? So there is some animosity, and I like when there's some real personal shit there, not some made up shit, but some real. They don't like each other. You know what I mean? Wilder was at his last fight that Breazeale had against Carlos Negron. Um, so And as far as his chances, I give him a puncher's chance. I give him a chance of landing one of those big looping right hands or big looping left hooks and putting some pressure on. Maybe he can get past Wilder's, jab right hand type of combination that Wilder's most effective at, and maybe he can press Wilder and get Wilder into a battle of fighting in close and not fighting at range, where he's going to take the full brunt of a straight right hand, which isn't good for any heavyweight. But maybe he can try to bulldog, meaning get close, rough him up, a whole bunch of grabbing and leaning because he's outweighs um, Wilder significantly. You know what I mean? So if he can get it into one of those type of fights, find a way to take away the right hand, you may see a good fight on our hands. You dig what I'm saying? But right now, I'll give him a puncher's chance. Let me see here. Time to Annie up was good, bro. You said smash like button. Yes, sir. Please smash that like button. Give me a Larry Holmes jab to that like button. Jaden Sancho says when Stiverne cracked Joyce with 2, 3 right hands and didn't budge him, he knew it was all over. Yeah, he was landing some, uh, he was landing them overhands. He was trying to bait Joyce to come in when he was against the ropes, and he was winging overhands. And yeah, Joyce didn't really show any type of, it really wasn't doing anything to him. Paradise Found says, "Do you think Wilder will ever settle down and stop being so wild? Only thing I don't like about him." Well, Wilder, you know, to me, when he gets really wild is when he sees you hurt and he tries to finish you off. Then he just goes wild as hell. You know what I mean? Um, and to me, that's due to his implacable type of attitude he has when he sees you hurt. He just gets ruthless in there, man. You dig what I'm saying? He tries his best to leave you, as I like to say, supine or prone after he hits you. You know what I mean? Either face down or face up on the canvas. You dig what I'm saying? I want him to, when he does get people hurt, man, to just line you up and take his time and try to pick you apart when he has you hurt, because he has fast hands. You know what I mean? Wilder throws those punches pretty fucking fast. You know what I mean? Uh, but yeah, I think he needs to settle down. But when he doesn't have you hurt and he's trying to figure guys out, he likes to probe with. I mean, he's just a different fighter. You know what I mean? Now he may have looked a little bit even more wild in a Fury fight, because Fury's thing is he makes people miss. You know what I'm saying? But to me, Wilder is only wild when he has you hurt. But rather than that, I think he's a pretty patient fighter. But I think his technique is going to be his technique. I think his technique is what it is, and I think he's gonna live and die by that. You know what I mean? So we'll see how much further it will take him. But right now, shit has done him good. The man's made what, 7 or 8 title defenses. So let me see here. Victor Bada says, now that the best offer Wilder could ever get has been made to him by Hearn and AJ, Black American boxing fans should tell him to get in the ring this time around. Um, well, I don't know if that was the best offer that could have been made to him. Maybe Wilder feels as if, how about we try to negotiate and I'll decide, meaning him, I'll decide what my best offer is. And as far as Black American fans should tell, look, man, as far as me, I want to see the best fight, the best. You dig what I'm saying? I want to see the best fights. So I'm going to keep telling every fighter, not just Wilder, every fighter to get in there and try to fight the best opposition. It's not a Wilder thing. This isn't, you know, just subjected to Wilder. This to every fighter. Man, I want to see the best all fight the best. Pair of Dice Found says, okay, that was that. Let's see here. Wayne McMillan says Wilder will beat Breazeale. He's too slow. I would like to see Wilder fight White and Ajagba fight Dubois. Ooh, Ajagba Dubois be, man, that'd be a good one right there, man. I wouldn't mind seeing Wilder fight White. I think that'd be style wise, and the way that Dylan attitude is when he gets in there, because he ain't gonna run away. Dylan White is not gonna run away from no fight. When he's in there, he will brawl with you, and I don't think he's gonna be intimidated. And I think he will come to bring it to Deontay Wilder, and I think he will be trying to focus on Deontay Wilder's body. And I don't think this is just an easy cakewalk, like a lot of fans believe that it's an easy cakewalk. I don't believe that, man. But I do believe that Dillian White's um, his fighting style just kind of plays into Wilder's hands a little bit. Dillian White will have to utilize that jab, pump that jab out, and try to move his head and keep that high guard up nice and tight. Try to move that head. But if he comes in just straight, just trying to brawl, I see him possibly running into a right hand and getting knocked out. But if he can utilize that jab, be aware of that straight right hand, not just walk in aimlessly, but be aware of that straight right hand from Wilder, move his head, pump his own jab, and work that body. And Wilder has to watch out for that left hook. Dillian White has shown that he is leaving motherfuckers unconscious. Earlier I just spoke on guys getting left supine or prone. Yeah, he's definitely doing that with his left hook. But I would favor Wilder, but I don't think this is just some easy fight. That's my opinion, though. Um, Jadon Sancho says Wilder has been a pro for 10 years. He ain't changing out. Yeah, I don't. I believe he is who he is, and with that being who he is, it's got him far. Nick Strogovich says hopefully Joshua fights. Okay, let me see. Okay, he says hopefully Joshua fights him next if he can't get Wilder or Fury. Um, the odd fella says if Mansoor isn't totally washed and out for just a bag, he should test F.A. Ajagba. You know what, odd fella, man? If this was the 2014 version of Amir Mansour, I think he really would test him. But just seeing what I've seen from the tough, rugged, old. All right, we're back. We're back. We're back. Let me scroll back up to that. We're back. We're back. Let me scroll back up. I forgot what I was just. Let me see. I think it was the odd fella that was asking. Oh, a lot of people joined. I got to scroll way up. All right, let me see. All right, so yeah, the odd fellow was asking me if Mansoor isn't totally washed up and just out for a bag, he should test F.A. Jaguar. Yeah, now this is like I said, this was the 2014 version of him. I think he will fuck around, probably beat him. You know what I mean? Like he will really test him. But since this is a guy that has been in there and win, lose or draw in his fights, he is 47 years old, 46 or 47. But being in there with guys like Gerald Washington, Jarrell Miller, Sergei Kuzmin, the fight he just had with Philippe Herkovic, even his wars he had with Cunningham and Kaufman, I think it's taken a lot out of him, man. I don't see how much. I don't see. He is a lefty. He does know how to arc overhand lefts and can dig to the body. He can fight an intelligent fighting style, even though he's a shorter heavyweight, smaller heavyweight. I just see he's going into the tail end of his career where I think these big guys, man, are going to be too much for him at this stage. That's just me. You dig what I'm saying? And when I seen him just willingly take that 10 count, I just don't know how much fight he has left in him as far as competing um, against high level prospects or even high level contenders. You dig what I'm saying? But I like Amir Mansour. I love this story. I was advocating for him to get his title shot when they blew up that Spilka Mansour fight that was scheduled, that was going to take place. When they blew that up and they took Spilka out of it to have him fight Wilder, I was advocating for Mansour to get that title shot. So Wayne McMillan says, Mr. Boxing, you're great. Keep going, man. Okay, appreciate that, brother. Let me see. Jaden Sancho says that's why the Brits are the best fans in the world. They will support you through thick and thin. Yes, they will. They will support the hell out of their fighters, man. Uh, Let me see here. Ronald Finkley says those UK fans didn't notice Floyd had broke his will a couple rounds earlier. And bro, even if they did notice it, they would have kept cheering. You dig what I'm saying? God of War says Romanov. Oh yeah, yep, it was. I end up remembering that, but yeah, you must have left that from when I was trying to think of the guy that stopped Wilder when Wilder was an amateur. Um, Ronald Finkley says salute at the Odd Fella New Media. Felix Nunez says morning was good. Let me see here. Felix Nunez says White has any real chance against Ortiz. Yeah, I think White has a chance against anybody he fights. Joshua did dispatch of him, um, but he had a chance going. I mean, okay, everybody has a chance, right? But a real fighting chance. I think White, even if he were to rematch Joshua, I would still favor Joshua, but I still think he has a fighting chance going into that. The hat says, "What do you think about Sergei?" You put Guzman, but I think you meant to say Sergei Kuzmin versus Joey Deweko. I think Joey has a shot. I actually did a breakdown on that fight, bro. But since you asked me the question here, I'll just talk about it here as well. I think Kuzman is going to beat Deweko, but Deweko is very tough. He knows how to box, meaning Joey Deweko is one of them dudes, man, where he almost seems like an outboxer or a guy that can fight from distance, trapped in that smaller guy's body, as far as his or a shorter. I'm not gonna say smaller, right, but a shorter guy's body with shorter arms. You dig what I'm saying? Because he can box effectively from the outside. He has good defense, good timing. Um, when you look at him, you just automatically think, oh, he must be somebody who wants to get right on the inside and slug. Really not. He wants kind of, he can make you miss and counter things like that. I've only seen him get really dominated in the Charles Martin fight. I thought he gave Jennings and Mansour some really tough fights, but I think style wise, I see this favoring Kuzman in this fight, walking him down behind a jab. Kuzman just has to stay away from backing out in straight lines and coming in straight lines. Kind of veer off to the side, angle off a little bit. Don't be so predictable with the way you're coming in and out. Straight lines. You dig what I'm saying? Um, but Kuzman may be surprised by Joey Deweko's fighting ability. You know what I mean? But I'm favoring Kuzman in that one. JD says Wilder interview with Blue Blood was pathetic. He's just not interested in Undisputed, unfortunately. First, let me say shouts out to Blue Blood. I didn't know he did an interview with Wilder. I'll check that out. So I haven't seen it, but shouts out to Blue Blood, and I'm gonna check out that interview. Jaden Sancho says still don't know why Ortiz is rated so highly. His performance against Allen and Scott were let me say this. Uh, Dave Allen usually nobody usually ever looks great against Dave Allen. Dillian White didn't look great against him. Ortiz was able to get the stoppage. The fight with Malik Scott, even the fight that Scott lost to Chisora didn't look, from what I can remember, Chisora didn't look great against him. The Wilder Scott fight, and then when Scott fought Tony Thompson, I mean Scott has fought a lot of guys, right? But he's not the easiest guy to look good against, you guys. Like when somebody is moving around the ring like that, it's hard to cut off the ring. You guys know, I don't think Malik Scott is the best heavyweight out there. But when I watch that man train, why do you think he's in a lot of training camps? Because he can move, he definitely knows how to survive, and he has good fundamentals, man. That's why he gets used for a lot of training camps. Now we can sit here and joke and make jokes till the cows come home, and that's cool. I like to joke around too, but when I'm serious with myself about it, he's in a lot of these training camps because of the things that I said, but he's a good fundamentally sound boxer, man. It's hard to just stop guys. I know as fans we think, oh, stop him, knock him out. But it's not that easy, man. It was like when I went to the Wilder Fury fight, the section I was sitting in, there was UK fans, and I told the story before, they kept calling him Ortiz, which was funny to me, but they're like, knock him out already, Ortiz. He's a bum. And I'm sitting there like, looking around like, looked at my wife like, have these dudes seen Travis Kaufman fight? He's not just some easy dude to just fucking knock out. You dig what I'm saying? So I say that to say this, man. Dave Allen is not some easy guy to just knock out. Now, is there somebody out there that can possibly starch him, get him out of there in the round? Possibly, if he were to fight Wilder or AJ, they possibly could. But Dillian White got to knock him, got a chance to fight him, and he didn't knock him out at all. So it's not easy, man. And Malik Scott is tough to deal. It's tough to deal with that movement, man. Every boxer who I've interviewed on my channel, I always ask them their opinion on fighting somebody that's just moving the whole time, and they all have that same type of answer. They're like, "Oh man, that shit's tough, man." You dig what I'm saying? So as fans, sometimes, man, You have to put that in consideration, man. It's hard to just knock somebody out and look great against somebody that's moving like that or somebody that's very durable. You dig what I'm saying? That's why they say sometimes, you know, this fighter may cause a fight to look ugly or something like that. So, yeah, it wasn't Ortiz's greatest performances, but guess what? He got the victory. And like they always say, hey, man, win tonight or win today and think about looking great next time. That's my opinion on it, though. And my opinion is he's rated so highly, man. See now, Jaden Sancho, when you say that, bro, if you look at the rankings, you can pretty much say why is damn near everybody who has higher rankings rated so high. You dig what I'm saying? I think he's highly touted by fans and ranking services because of his boxing ability, bro. This dude's a counterpuncher with power and his performance against Deontay Wilder. You dig what I'm saying? Now, we're not giving out brownie points here. He lost the fight. A loss is a loss. But I really thought they were going to stop the fight. When he had Wilder hurt like that, I thought they were going to stop that motherfucking fight. You dig what I'm saying? So, and he can only get in there with who wants to get in there with him, man. You dig what I'm saying? So, we got different opinions on Luis Ortiz, but you go look at those rankings, bro. I remember one time I was looking at the WBA rankings. They had fucking Kairo Toro Fujimoto at number 7 at one point. Go figure. Go figure, man. Freza Kendall was rated number 3 one time. I was looking at the WBA. Go figure. The odd fella says, I'm interviewing an undefeated Canadian cruiserweight, Ryan Rozicki, tomorrow night. He gave Simon King that work in the amateurs. Okay, I'm gonna check that guy out, man. Mark Lawson says, at last I caught the latest live stream. Good to have you here, man. Let me see here. Mark Lawson, okay. God of War says, yeah, Malas is a great prospect too. Okay, yeah, you're talking about the Croatian fighter. Let me see here. Wilder could well have a tremendous deal on the table from. Yo, you guys, as far as let me just read what you have to say. Okay, Daz Pez says Wilder could well have a tremendous deal on the table from Hearn. He could ditch the stubbornness and sign up. Can't duck forever. Okay, that's your opinion. Let me say this. As far as these guys' deals and money, look, I know this is gonna some of you aren't gonna like this because you want me to get into these conversations about this type of shit. I'm the wrong channel for that. And I say that because I'm not good at breaking down offers. Now I can give my opinion about what I think a guy. Now if there's two or three different deals on the table, I can give my opinion about what I think the best option for those guys to take if it were me. But since it's not me and it's them, take whatever offer they need to take, man. Because one thing I learned about fans, when it's the fans' favorite fighter, they want their favorite fighter to make the most money possible. When it's a fighter that they don't care too much about or they think's a ducker or a coward or whatever it is, that fight needs to take any deal presented to them. You see how it works? When you don't like the guy or you think he's a coward or whatever, he needs to take any deal presented to him. When it's a fighter you like, he needs to break the bank. I say that to say this. I don't give a fuck. I just want to see the best fight the best. I've always been like that. Man, me, my uncles, and my father, when we were watching boxing in the late 80s and the 90s, we wasn't sitting there talking about deals. So I understand that business is a part of boxing, but I never got into boxing to cover the business. I just never have. I'm more of a talking about old school fights. Uh, I do videos behind my heavy bag showing styles. I'm a style guy, history guy, breakdown fights guy. I'm not a I'm not nobody's agent. I'm not their fucking promoter. I'm not his uncle. I'm not his accountant. I'm none of that. That's my opinion on it. Leave it at that. The hat says Jermaine Franklin versus Rydell Booker. Think Booker still has it. Man, Rydell, I broke this fight down too. The hat. Jermaine Franklin is a very good prospect, man. I like Franklin. Um, Michigan kid. Jermaine Franklin actually came. If you guys go to my prospect watch video on Jermaine Franklin when he was 5-0, he actually came to that video and he was asking if he can send me footage of his fights. and give him some feedback, things he should work on, things like that. So shout out for Jermaine Franklin for even respecting my boxing opinion like that and the way I break down things. So shout out to him. He always, gets support from me just for that. But with that said, I think that's why I was doing a prospect watch video on him because I think he's a solid prospect. Now, with that said, with Rydell Booker has had a couple fights since he's came back. Rydell Booker was away from the sport for I think 13 years. He ended up catching a case for allegedly he did get convicted for it, but I wasn't there with him doing the activity that he did. But I guess he had a kilo of cocaine that he got busted with, so or whatever. But he took some time away from the sport. He came back and beat Jamal Woods, who was one of those guys that I will put in the category of a tough journeyman. That when you throw your prospect in there with, you better be careful. All right. Um, we will see, but we will see if he has it. If he has it in, if Rydell Booker still has anything left. Jermaine Franklin is going to be the perfect guy to test it. You dig what I'm saying? Rydell Booker only has one loss. That was to James Toney. They fought on the Fox a long time ago. I think, man, when was that fight? 2003 or some shit. It was a long time ago. I remember it came on the Best Damn Sports Show. And I want to say Max Kellerman did the commentary on that. I could be wrong, but I think Max Kellerman was on the commentary team. I could be wrong, though, but his only loss was to James Toney. So, we'll see. My man, the one LVZ live, man. What's good, brother? He says, hit the like or we knocking you out like Wilder did Stiverne. Yeah, man. We gonna leave their ass stretched out like a folding chair. I'm getting all types of text messages. Shouts out to the one LVZ, man. What's good, bro? Javon Lomax says, being the smaller, if not smallest heavy in most fights, have Wilder ever fought going backwards for a majority of a fight? Hold on, let me read that again. Being the smaller, if not smallest heavy in most his fights, have Wilder ever fought going backwards for a majority of a fight? Yeah, bro, he fought going backwards in the Stiverne fight. And that's the fight that Wilder proved me wrong. For those of you that's been really following me, man, you guys know that Wilder has grown on me throughout the years. Oh man, I can't believe I'm gonna say this. I picked Stiverne to beat Wilder in the first fight because I didn't think Wilder had a back foot game. When I was watching him fight the Jason Gaverns like the Jason Gaverns, um, some of his fights before that, fights that he was fighting guys on ESPN, getting them out of there in a round or two. I just seen a guy that was very awkward, that had a very hard fucking right hand, but I just didn't think even the fight with Malik Scott, just those type of fights. What's the other fight? The fight with Kelvin Price, all those fights, yo. The Ali Harrison fight. I just didn't think he had a back foot game, and yeah, he proved me wrong. He was fighting off the back foot, landing check left hooks, landing the right hand off the back foot, jabbing off the back foot. I was like, damn, I was wrong about this dude, man. And I picked Malik Scott to beat Wilder. Why? Because I thought Wilder had the more power, but I thought Malik Scott, and I still think this, is just more fundamentally sound than Deontay Wilder. Now, just because you're more fundamentally sound, don't mean you're going to win the fight. And sometimes fans, we get mixed up with that, man. We go by the eye test, like, ooh, look at the way he's moving his head. Look at his glove placement. Look how he's ringing combination. Look how he pivots correctly. Look how he throws the jab right hand, ducks, rolls. That's great. Don't mean you're going to win the fight. It just means you're more fundamentally sound. It just means you have a better foundation, skill wise, and that's great. Don't mean you're going to win the fight though. And but yeah, I have seen Wilder fight off the back foot, and it was in the Stiverne fight, bro. The first one, the first Stiverne fight. Hope I answered your question, bro, if I read that right. All right. Arjun Gunnapy, what's good, bro? I just seen you, I was watching my man Cali Enigma, and before I started this one, I was listening to Cali, and you was in his in his chat section as well. So what's up to Arjun? He says, Mr. Box today, hope things are big. Hope things are big, brother. Peace to everyone in the chat. Oh, hope things are well. Okay, yeah, everything's good, bro. The odd fella says another Croatian heavyweight, Agron Smakisi, 14-0 with 12 KOs. However, nobody of note his record yet. Okay, check him out. Ronald Franklin says, I seen Deontay Wilder sitting on top of the world today. Till this till this day. Till this day. Looking down on these peons, kings, don't chase peasants. Salute LDBC for sure, man. Till this day. Jadon Sancho says Wilder doesn't want to negotiate. Okay, I'm off that, bro. But you say Wilder doesn't want to negotiate, at least meet and discuss the offer. From all my hearing Wilder talk about this, bro, that's all he's been trying to do is get. See, it's one thing to negotiate, but then there's another thing to, while you're negotiating, the things to be fair. You dig what I'm saying? And what's fair to you and what's fair to Deontay Wilder, two totally different things. You dig what I'm saying? And that goes for me also. What I believe is fair is going to be totally different from what that fighter and his team think is fair. And I like to, and let me also say this, because this is what made me step back from the money talk. It has nothing to do with Wilder and AJ. What made me step back from talking money, because I got into a continuity of, oh, I'm going to get into the money talk. What got me to step back and let me know that I really don't know what the fuck is going on behind closed doors was the Mayweather Pacquiao situation. All right. All right. So let me rewind real quick. Let me just touch on this, and this is going to put paint where it ain't for this subject, because a lot of people think that I don't like that. I try to stay away from certain things because of this or because of that. No, because I don't know what the fuck is going on behind closed doors. That's why. Reason being is this. So let me put paint where it ain't real quick. All right. When Floyd, and I was making videos on YouTube then, and I would occasionally talk about big fights in other weight classes. So this around 09, 2010 on my first channel. When Floyd came out and said he wanted 100 million if him and Pacquiao was going to fight, I was like, this dude's fucking crazy. 100 million. And at this point, that shit was just unheard of, yo. I'm sitting here like, man, you should take this much. You should take, 40 million, whatever. It's the most you ever made. It's blah, blah, blah. It's, whatever. Right? I thought the dude was out of his mind, man. I really thought Mayweather was out of his mind with this 100 million shit. I thought he was ducking the fight. I'm like, dude, you ducking the fight. I thought Pacquiao was ducking drug testing. Then when Mayweather offered him the 40 million flat fee, uh, and everybody's saying he should take the fight, it's going to be double how much he's ever made. He's ducking the fight. He can make double his pay. All just blah blah blah, right? Man, come to find out when these motherfuckers finally fought, Pacquiao had got knocked out, left motherfucking got knocked out, left face first on the canvas. You know what I mean? I'm sitting there thinking like, these dudes end up making way more than what was being talked about in 2010. You dig? So say they would have took that fight. Now for us fans, it would have probably been a better fight. Pacquiao was closer to, that 09, 2010 Pacquiao was frightening. You dig what I'm saying? Some people think, some bullshit was going on with Pacquiao. You guys know what I'm talking about. I can be indirect but direct at the same time. You dig what I'm saying? But now I just think if they would have took that money in 2010 or 2009, right? They would have left so much money on the table. So who am I to sit here and tell anybody what they're worth? You can say what you think they're worth by looking at their old numbers and trying to calculate, but bro, you're just guesstimating. That doesn't mean anything. You're worth what you negotiate. You're worth what you negotiate, not what fans think. So all that whole, he's ducking the fight. He would make 3 times as much. Okay, you're right. He probably would make 3 times as much if he take the offer that's being presented to the public. But bro, what if he's able to negotiate 7 times what he's worth, 8 times what he's worth? You have to negotiate it, man. Just because somebody offer you something that's double what you've ever made, okay, cool, great. That lets me know there's more money on the table, right? Because you're the one that just offered me that. I didn't even bring up nothing. You offered me that. How much would I get if I really negotiated this? That's how I look at it. But hey, man, that's just my opinion. Daniels Ayo Bahan says AJ will beat them all. Trust me. God of War says, what do you think about Usyk versus Povetkin? I did a vid on that, bro. Let me get to some of these other comments, but bro, God of War, go to my video, uh, Usyk versus Povetkin. I did like a whole hour live stream on that, bro. So go to that. But briefly though, just to touch on it briefly, I think Usyk wins a unanimous decision on points. But go to that video and listen to my full breakdown, bro. Creases33 says Dubois is just a kid. If you think you can get a spar with Dubois and be ready for Joshua, then it's just foolishness. But on the other hand, Dubois is probably still the best uh, comparison to AJ. If you think so, so pretty much what you're trying to say is you think that Miller's going to go in there and get his ass whooped by Dubois sparring. Because sparring him is not going to get you ready for AJ. It's going to get you an ass whooping before AJ. That's what you're pretty much saying. Um, we'll see. I guess we will see. But Miller's not going to be intimidated by no damn Daniel Dubois. I mean, Miller's been in what 6 or 7 Klitschko camps. Miller was sparring world champions, bro, when he was like an amateur. So he's not gonna be intimidated by no damn Daniel Dubois and sparring. Come on, bro. Like I just posted a video of Jarrell Miller sparring guys like Wayne Breakway, Wayne Big Truck Breakway back in the day in 2008, 2009, bro. Like he's not gonna be intimidated by no damn Daniel Dubois, man. And Daniel Dubois is a very good prospect that I like, but I don't see him being intimidated or getting his ass whooped. If anything, I think his trainer will be smart enough. If that does come true, and it's like a round or two of him getting busted up, I think they'll pull Daniel Dubois up out of there. You dig what I'm saying? But I don't see that. I think it's going to be competitive. It should be competitive. I think Daniel Dubois gain some experience from this and go from there. Now, if you're going to probably bring up Povetkin, you got to remember Povetkin had a lot of guys in that training camp. He also had Vlad Sarenko in there too, and a lot of other guys that was giving him some good work. Benjamin Berger says, Mr. Boxing, today too, can someone like Tyson Fury learn how to punch? Huh? Can someone like I believe now what do you mean like crazy KO percentages? He's never going to be a huge KO puncher. Earlier in his career, he was a more aggressive fighter, but some guys are just made with crazy KO power. Some people are just battle of attrition. Some people think is to go in there and use the outboxer style to outbox you. Some people think is to outwork you, try to catch you late and stop you. Some people, like I said, outbox you, catch you late and stop. I mean, it's different things, bro. One thing about that I think that can increase your punching power is make sure you're sitting down on your punches and you're turning your hips correctly when you throw your punches. But then you got some dudes like a Deontay Wilder that can hit you with the fucking cuff of his glove and hit you on the side of your head and still knock you out. You dig what I'm saying? But I seen Mike Tyson knock out was it Franz Botha with one of the shortest punches I've ever seen in my life. Rocky Marciano landed a short punch on Walcott. I mean, you know what I mean? So fighters are different, man. Okay, Jana Sancho says, not sure how sparring a prospect with the style of Dubois will help you prepare for AJ, but what do I know? Um, well, I'm not sure what you know, bro, but what I know is Vladimir Klitschko did this all the time, bro. If you go look at them Vladimir Klitschko camps, he had AJ when he was a prospect, Dillian White when he was a prospect, Robert Helenius when he was a prospect, Jarrell Miller when he was a prospect. Klitschko did this all the time. Klitschko was one of those guys with his training camp. It wasn't about, okay, I'm fighting Povetkin. Okay, for instance, like when he fought Povetkin, it wasn't about bringing a whole bunch of fighters that fight like Povetkin. No, I'm bringing in guys all shapes and sizes, prospects, up and comers. I'm bringing them all in. You dig what I'm saying? And I was trying to explain that to somebody in my comment section. Now, don't get me wrong. Is it good to have some guys that are comparable to the guy you're going to fight? Of course, man. But at the same time, you need to have a be ready for any and everything mindset. Why do you say that, Mr. Boxer, today? because you don't know what is going to happen on fight night. The guy may fight like a certain way in all his fights, then get into a fight with you and fight a whole different way. You dig what I'm saying? So be prepared for anything. And I also like bringing in guys all shapes and sizes because you never know if a fight's going to go, is going to happen. Guy may pull out, but you may still fight on that fight day against somebody that's a different type of fighter. You don't want to be the idiot sitting there saying, I didn't prepare for his style. You prepare for any and everything. And I also think it makes for good work in the gym when you having sparring partners jump in and out, fresh guys jumping in and out with different fighting styles. You dig what I'm saying? But yeah, Vladimir Klitschko will have like Michael Hunter Jr. in his training camps. Gerald Washington's been in his training. I mean, he's had a slew of guys, man. Original Bruno says Malik Scott is a farce, bruh. Um, okay, I think skill wise, I think he has very good fundamentals, and I think Malik Scott can be a very good trainer as well, man. I actually talked. Hey, shout out to Malik Scott, man, because he hit me up behind the scenes on Instagram. It's crazy how a lot of these fighters watch our channels, man. But a lot of heavyweights have hit me up behind the scene saying that they appreciate my work. But I'm not saying it's because of that, all right. But I think he could be a good trainer, man. That dude has some. If you watch Malik Scott train, like his footwork, the way he turns into his punch, I mean, he has a lot of good, very good fundamentals, man. Um, and some of you guys are coming here. Look, man, some of you dudes in the comment section, y'all coming here with some animosity on your chest, bro. Chill out, man. Y'all coming with like these aggressive ass comments and shit. Man. Like, what are y'all so mad about, man? Go get some pussy or something, man. Let's just. I could just tell by the way I'm reading this, y'all are coming with with some aggressiveness. Like, calm down, bro. Like, the fuck y'all so mad about, man? Jesus Christ. Y'all act like these fighters are like y'all's cousins and brothers and shit, man. Maybe I'm talking to somebody's cousin or brother, man. I don't know. Maybe one of the fighters' cousins or brothers are in here. Just but let me see here. Original Bruno says, when was the last time Ortiz looked good beating a top contender? And then he says, like 5 years ago. And then he says Malik Scott is a farce, bro. Well, bro, it's hard to. Well, first of all, you gotta get in with a top contender to look good against. To me, he looked good against, even though he lost. I thought he looked good in the Wilder fight. He lost the fight. There's no brownie points, but he didn't look bad in the fight, in my opinion. Um, but when you say top contender, bro, top 15, top 20, top five. I mean, you gotta be more specific. Okay, I'm not even gonna read that comment, man. Shouts out to the LDBC. How you like that? And for those of you coming here talking about the LDBC, man, just stop it, man. Just stop it. Just stop it. The hate, man. The hate is real. The hate is real. Shouts out to the LDBC. Adari Pennant says Riddick Bowe versus Ike Buche fantasy matchup. Ooh, okay, now we talking. This is the type of shit I like. Man, Riddick, a big, good inside fighter, good jab. Um, I seen Tony Tubbs make Riddick Bowe work, man. In that fight he had with Tubbs, the fights with Holyfield was good. He he beat the hell out of Selden, but Riddick can fight different ways. But if you brought a war to him, he will bring the war back to you. But I think him being able to bring a war to Abed Buche, oh, man, because Ike can punch, man. Damn, this is and it's so hard really to judge Ike because with Riddick, you've seen the good and bad of Riddick, right? With Ike, we just pretty much seen all the good. You know what I mean? Um, Chris Berry was able to outbox him. He was able to outslug him. But when he was sticking and moving in that type of fight, but then Ike started to catch him, man, and was putting a hurting on him. Then the fight with David Tool where they were just having a war. But there's another fight that's on YouTube of Ike that I watched. He was fighting a guy named Greg Pinkram. I believe that's the guy's name. Greg Pinkram, this is the guy he fought. And he didn't look that bad against Ike, yo. I think Ike would have had a hard time dealing with some of the bigger guys of that era had he got around to him. But we'll never know. You dig what I'm saying? We will never know. And Ike could box himself, seemed to have a good chin. Because you in there taking just flush shots from there to him, man. It's almost like shit. What morals do we need to see? You know what I mean? But at the same time, though, some fighters react to other fighters' power differently, right? What do you mean by that, Mr. Boxing? Shit. How the fuck was Evander Holyfield able to take all the Mike Tyson shots, but Riddick Bowe was able to stop him? You dig what I'm saying? So, um, and he was able to take Lennox Lewis's shot, but Riddick Bowe was able to stop him. You dig what I'm saying? So, that's a good one, man. I probably favor Riddick Bowe because even when Bowe wasn't 100%, he would still fight. Even in the Galata fights, man, he was still getting punched in his nuts and everything. Still out there, just fighting with his heart. Still out there doing it. We never got to see when Ike was in trouble how he reacted when he was hurt or went down or it wasn't looking that good for him. He's getting backed up and busted up, and you dig what I'm saying. But that Greg Pinkram dude that I seen him fight was able to box someone outside, man, and was giving him a tough go. I would favor Riddick Bowe, but that's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. Great question, bro. All right, man. Look, bro. Whatever it is, what it is. Ronald Finkel says if you don't see Ortiz skills, he says if you don't see Luis Ortiz skills, get in that square circle with him ASAP. Uh, Original Bruno says Ortiz is nothing special. He says you guys rate him away too high, laughing my ass off. Okay, that's cool. That's your opinion. I'm not here to change your opinion, bro. Let me see here. Vino Pugilist says, "How far can Junior Fa go? Do you think he is better than Parker was at the same stage in his career?" Um, right now they're fighting down. I mean, at this stage of his career, he's fighting downhill against journeyman. So I really can't judge it. Now, when he steps up to a Carlos Takam level or a Andrew Reese Jr. level type of guy, then we'll really see what he's made of. Um, I think Junior Fa has the ability, he has the size, he has good boxing ability. I've seen him come up in the World Series of Boxing. He can fight off the back foot, which he hasn't really shown, but he can. But when you're in there against journeymen that you have the power advantage on, guys tend to just come forward. You dig what I'm saying? So we will see. I would like to see him and Joseph Parker shoot it out. I like to see that one. I know they fought 4 times in the amateur. They split 2-2 against each other. So we will see with Junior Fa. But he definitely has. I like his skill set, and I know he has the ability to go backwards. I don't think he's this crushing one punch KO artist. And I like the fact that he has got himself into much better shape. He's starting to get defined a little bit in his chest area and his arms and shoulders. So he's definitely putting the work in. Jaden Sancho says, "How long do you think Kaufman and Scott would last against AJ?" Well, if Scott is able to move around the ring like that and you can't catch up to him, shit, he may go to full 12, bro. But if AJ is able to land flush and able to catch him, um, I could see a stoppage. You know what I mean? A stop. I'm not sure which round, but a stoppage. But Jaden Sancho, bro, instead of coming here with these questions like you're trying to, you know what I mean? You know what you're doing, bro. Let's just talk boxing, bro. It seems like somebody I could just be reading them the wrong way, bro, taking them out of context, but it seems like you coming with some animosity, you know what I mean? But and trying to prove that Luis Ortiz is a bum. He's not a bum, bro. He's not a bum. If anything, bro, how about you go ask AJ? Let me make sure I'm not mixing you up with somebody else, man. You know what, bro? I could be mixing you up with somebody with another commenter. I don't know, but look, man, Anthony Joshua was just talking about that he wants to fight Ortiz next. So for him, okay, so are you saying this? Are you saying that AJ is picking on a guy that you think is a bum? Because AJ was saying that he wants to fight Luis Ortiz next. But to answer your question, I'm not sure. Kaufman, I think, because the way he likes to fight, I can see him because they know how to survive, though, bro. You're in there with people that know these savvy guys know how to survive. But if AJ, he's one of the hardest punchers in the division. Um, if he catch them flush on their chin, man, they probably go night night. You dig what I'm saying? But I'm not sure. Hey man, you guys can ask me all. You can come at the LDBC on some negative shit, but I'm not gonna get into no negativity about guys who I'm cool with, who I respect for, and guys who I've been knowing before it was called the LDBC. So yeah, that don't fly here. You know what I mean? Nice try though, bro, but you're not gonna get me into any type of conversation like that because it's corny as fuck, and I'm not about to talk about guys behind their back who I'm cool with. You dig what I'm saying? Been cool with some of these guys for 10 years. I've been knowing blood boxing for 10 fucking years, man. You dig what I'm saying? I've been knowing some of these cats for 7, 8, 9, 10 years, man. So if you don't like the LDBC, don't watch the channels. That's only advice I can give to you. But trying to get me into a situation where I'm, uh, nah, that's not gonna work. That's corny. There go 619. What it do? What's good, bro? All right, man, I'm gonna just skip some of these shits, man, because this is just corny, little stupid shit. Ron Flinkley with our he says, great boxing talk, Mr. Boxing. Thanks. Appreciate that, bro. Arjun Gunnaby says, Mr. Boxing today, best in the business for heavyweights on YouTube. Easy. Appreciate that, bro. Shit, I consider myself one of the best in the world, whether on YouTube or not. And that isn't really that's not being cocky. That's just being I'm just telling the truth, man. Like I break this shit down. I don't just follow the top five, top 10, which there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with only following the top 10 in any division. There's nothing wrong with that, man. But me, on the other hand, I mean, I'm following dudes you've never heard of. You know what I mean? Uh, Literally the top 200 to 300 heavyweights in the world, man. They're gonna say I break this shit down. Uh, Piece by piece. Even guys you consider bums and you don't think, why am I even covering this guy? This guy's a bum. I've never heard of this guy. Because I'm intrigued by the heavyweights, by the whole division, not just the top five, not just by who makes the most money. Uh, I'm intrigued by the whole division, even the journeyman. You dig what I'm saying? Prospects, all of them. Avery Doolittle says, "Who does Dillian White fight next?" That's a good question, man. Um, if Brazil is it seems as if he's going to be taken out the equation, it's like Brazil may be fighting Wilder. I think Dillian White needs to. Man, that's a good fucking question. I wouldn't mind seeing him fight like Oscar Rivas. I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Adam Konowski, uh, Konaki. You know what I mean? I think those would be good fights right there. Konaki would probably be my favorite for him to fight, or Rivas, one of the two. But there's a lot of good fights that could be made with him, even with Fury not being available or Wilder not being available. Obviously, Joshua Miller and Miller White is still one of the fights I still want to see. I've been clamoring for that fight for like 2 to 3 years now. Dillian White versus Jarrell Miller. Man, I want to see that fight. Best fight the best. What it do, man? You got look, man. Best fight the best has one of the most entertaining. Uh, Best fight the best has one of the most entertaining boxing shows on YouTube, in my opinion, man. A lot of stuff that he's saying, I've said in so many videos. And I have close to like 3,000 videos on this channel alone. And all the facts he bring up, I've been saying them for years. It gets so repetitive and redundant. It's just like I don't even feel like talking about it no more. But he brings in a whole new energy, X-rated, and I love it. You know what I mean? And when he brings guests on and they go back and forth on these topics, he bodies a lot of dudes because he uses what they say against themselves. You dig what I'm saying? And I know what he's doing before he does it by the questions he's asking them. And when he asks the question, I know 9 times out of 10 what their answer is going to be, and I just laugh and shake my head while I'm watching them ask the questions. Like, oh, he's setting them up. He's setting them up because I know what their response is going to be. But shouts out to Best Fight the Best, man. Please go sub to him. You might not agree with what he says, man, but sub to that brother, man. James, okay, I'm gonna go to the bottom, man. Let me see. James, or let me see. James Coleman says, Mr. Boxing, in your thumbnail, you look like you just got done working out. What's good? Yeah, I was working out outside, shoveling that fucking snow, man. Outside shoveling, man. Wool bag, what it do? Best fight the best says, great to see these hating ass comments. The way that way I know who to block. Thanks. Let me see here. Grandmaster Flash says, how do you see Ortiz versus Hammer going? I did a full video on that, but in the nutshell, I'll say this. I'll say Christian Hammer's going to come forward with the high guard, um, and he's going to get walked into uppercuts and counters because he's usually an aggressive fighter. Going on the back foot, he's not all that great, and he gets into a continuity sometime when he's in close to start clinching. But I think Christian Hammer's best bet is just let his hands go. It's going to open him up to get countered in devastating fashion. But he has a pretty good right hand, and the dude has heart. That's one thing I say about Christian Hammer. Uh, he does have heart. He does have some decent wins under his belt. The Erkin win, the Price win. You know what I mean? But I have seen Christian Hammer get put to sleep against Marius Wack, and I've seen him not come out. I think it was round 8 against Fury. Looked like it was some frustration settle in. Plus, Fury was on his game that night, man. He was boxing squares, circles, and triangles around Christian Hammer that night. But Christian Hammer, I think he needs to fight aggressive, like he always does, and try to wing right hands. Try to fight like he was fighting Michelle Wallace. Now, uh, Luis Ortiz is no Michelle Wallace. You dig what I'm saying? But I see straight left hands and uppercuts uh, taking Hammer apart. Hammer needs to try to go to the body relentlessly and throw overhand rights and left hooks. That's just what I see in a nutshell. But if you want a further breakdown in that, man, go check out the video that I did on that. Nathan says Malik Scott seems cool guy, a lot of talent. Yeah, people in here saying he's a bum, and it is what it is, man. But the dude is very talented, man. Yeah, hey, you know what? Since I got you both here, let me say this because I was thinking about this. Best fight the okay, Jaden Sancho, don't go nowhere. And best fight the best, bro. You still in here? Okay, listen. And best fight the best has said this on his channel. I got out of the whole going back and forth real hard at commenters and shit back in the 2010 days. This when that Pacquiao Mayweather thing was going, bro. And my whole cadence, the way I come on here on videos was different back then. I was getting aggressive with motherfuckers and everything on certain topics. The last topic I got really aggressive on like that, going back and forth, was that whole Povetkin Wilder Meldonium situation. I refrained from that because I feel like a grandpa in here now. I mean, I've been here for 10 years, y'all. It's like I ain't got time for some of this shit. You know what I mean? I'm not about to be trying to change nobody's mind, or even if I have facts, I just don't care no more. But you know who want them type of problems, who want to get into that type of shit? My man Best Fight the Best. So no, don't come to my channel with aggressiveness and yeah, what about this? What about that? When you clearly see I'm just trying to break down fights. I don't want no problems. I don't want to harm nobody. Look at my smile. I'm a cool guy, man. But if you want them type of situations and you want to get, go to Best Fight the Best. He'll invite you on and go on there. Just send an email. Yeah, Ronald Franklin just left it. Go on there. And he'll let you have all the aggressiveness you want. Bring it to his channel. Now, don't get it wrong. I can still body you with facts. I've been following the heavyweight division nonstop for 10 plus years, bro. Well, on YouTube for 10 plus years. 30 years, pretty much been watching heavyweight division nonstop. So I can still get into a debate, you know what I mean, and just be, cool, calm, and relaxed like I am. You dig what I'm saying? But at the same time, though, if you want somewhere to go to release all that out and get into that type of shit, go to Best Fight the Best. And I'm gonna sit back with my feet up and watch. Johnny Payne, what's up, man? Hey, Johnny Payne, I appreciate the work you're doing right now in the heavyweight division, bro. I appreciate that. me see here. Hey, and one thing, yeah, best fight the best may not be for you, bro. Just like here on YouTube, there's a lot of channels that's not for me. From the UK, there's channels, there's all types of channels. I listen to it, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to troll. I'm not going to make up a fake account and come back and, really say how I feel to one of these guys. I just say, nah, it's not for me. Go to the next thing. You dig what I'm saying? That's the beauty of YouTube. There's hundreds, probably in the thousands now, man, of channels. You dig what I'm saying? So yeah, every channel's not going to be for you. Standing 8 count says he would have loved to see Tua versus Tyson. Yeah, that'd have been a good one, man. Speaking of Tua Tyson, just to throw this in there, you've probably seen it, may probably haven't. You guys go on YouTube and check this out. But there's actually sparring footage of Evander Holyfield and David Tua. That's who Evander Holyfield used for his preparation for Mike. He used David Tua. Now, according to what's the trainer's name? I got his. I can picture his face. I just forgot his damn name, man. It's one Evander. It was one Evander Holyfield's trainers at that point, and the guy he was training Kovalev at one point, Glaskov at one point. What's this guy's name, man? Man, I hate. Don't you guys hate when you just forget the simplest shit? I can see his face. I just forgot his name. Fuck. But it's the guy that was in the corner. And he kept telling Holyfield, he ain't the bully. You the bully in there. What's the dude's name, man? Damn. But anyways, he said on the interview, I believe it was True School Sports. Shouts out to True School Sports. He did an interview with him, and he was saying that Holyfield was beating him up and was beating Tua up in sparring. You know what I mean? So um, this is gonna piss me. I cannot remember this dude's name, man. It is what it is, and I'm gonna as soon as I turn this off, I'm gonna fucking remember the dude's name. All right, y'all. Let me see here. So yeah, Jaden Sancho. Hey, best fight the best. Cause I want to hear, cause sometimes, it's cool to hear some of you guys talk sometimes, man. Cause you guys be sounding very intelligent and smart, got all the answers for everything when we're leaving comments. Then I hear some of y'all talk, and it's like, this motherfucker don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Shouts out to Kiwi Box. And I actually seen Kiwi Box on one of the best fight the best live streams, and they went back and forth. But I'm gonna just end it with this though, just quick story. I was doing a Kiwi Box had a live, and I went on there with them. And Kiwi Box has another YouTube channel. I think it's Big Boy Boxing or Big Boys Boxing or something like that. But he has Kiwi Box channel. Um, and it was one of the commenters who still leaves comments now. Just can leave paragraph long comments and all this stuff. Man, the dude got on to talk with us. I was shocked. And now some people probably can't convey their message in an eloquent and fluid way, like myself and others. But some dudes just, it's like, man, were you using box rec all the time when you were going back and forth in the comment section, or just what was it, man? Because getting on this phone now, I mean, are you just nervous, or because it sounds like you don't know what the fuck? First of all, it don't even sound like you believe what it is you're saying, for one, and for two, you really don't know what the hell you're talking about. So it's good sometimes to hear some of you guys on live going back and forth, man. Because I like to figure out if you're just bullshitting, if you're just, if this is a big game to you, or you even really believe what it is you're saying, man. So when you get to hear somebody hearing their voice, like, damn, they really do mean what they're saying, or damn, you know what I mean? This dude really does know what he's talking about, or damn, okay, I see his point of view now that he explained it, verbally, and I can hear him. You dig what I'm saying? Because sometimes in the comment section, man, people just have all the answers. Box watch, nah, not John David Jackson, bro. It's one of the old school trainers, man. I should look it up. Nah, it's the old school trainer. Zone 6 is here. Zone 6. I'm trying to remember this trainer's name, bro. In the Holyfield fight, and I got his face in my head, I just can't remember his name though. But he trained Glasscoff. He trained Kovalev before. It's not John David Jackson, but it was the dude in the Holyfield Tyson fight when Holyfield was in the corner and he was telling Holyfield, he ain't the bully, you the bully in there. It's the old cat with the bald head and he got like the mustache. Got a mustache. No, it's not Eddie Mustafa, man. Oh, it's gonna piss me off, man. I hate when these names slip my mind. Deion Folks was good, bro. Either way, it's not big. It's not a big. It's not that important. But I just want to say, I just want to give some clearance to the guy who said that Holyfield was beating up Tua in sparring because he was the trainer that said it when Holyfield was using David Tua for sparring in his preparations for Mike Tyson. All right, let me see here. Yeah, speaking of Zone 6, and I see Best Fight the Best in there. Yeah, Best Fight the Best. I've seen his live streams with Zone 6. I seen that one. That was a good one. Seen it with Kiwi Box. It's good to see some of the other uploaders going there. And it was the first fight, bro. It was the first fight. Is it Don Turner? Don Turner, I think it was. I think it was Don Turner. I think it was Don Turner, but it was the first fight when all right, my bad. We back. And when we came back, I seen Blood Boxing is up in here. What's good, Blood? Hey, Blood, is it Don Turner who used to train Evander Holyfield? I asked Zone 6 that too. I want to know this before I get off here. Because I got this dude face in my head. I just can't remember his name, but I think it's Don Turner. Shouts out to Blood Boxing, man. Yep, okay, Zone. So yeah, it was Don Turner. But hey, y'all, I've been on here for an hour and 40 minutes, man. My damn arm is tired as hell holding up this fucking camera. But Zone 6, bring me back to the old YouTube days, man. When I see guys like Zone 6 and Blood Boxing, man, one of the reasons why I come on here and make videos, because when there's brothers like that in the comment section, and shout out the Best Fight the Best, but I'm just more so talking about guys that were around, at least here, at least making videos. Because I can't say Best Fight the Best wasn't on here years ago. He probably was watching us, you dig what I'm saying? But as far as making videos and content though, guys like Blood, guys like Zone 6, especially Blood, man. Blood been on here for a fucking 1,000 years, man. Um, shouts out to Blood, shouts out to Best Fight the Best, shouts out to Zone 6. Everybody came to the comment section, chat section, leaving comments. Let me see. Zone 6 says Turner got mad at Evander for the Tony fight. What you mean by that, bro? Got mad during the fight, or he got mad, you said, for the Tony fight? Oh, well, he was getting his ass whooped. That's I had to think about that real quick. I read the name Tony, but then I thought about the fight. Really, yeah. Ooh, James was piecing him up, man. Ooh, he was piecing him up. Combination City. Boy, James was working him over like a heavy bag, man. Whew. Them combinations was lethal. And it was kind of sad seeing Evander get treated like that in that fight. He was getting pieced up, man. Pieced up. He was literally running combinations off on Evander the way you would hit a punching bag. And I know y'all remember, man, he was piecing him up. But hey, y'all fuck around, keep leaving these questions and saying shit. Y'all keep me on here for another 3 hours talking about boxing, man. Tone Bangers and jumped in here, bro. Let me get off for more people start coming here and y'all start asking me some good ass questions, man. I'm gonna get off this, man. Appreciate y'all showing up. Salute to